Football. Bloody hell. Quite a lot's happened since last time we spoke. We've all been busy with life, so sorry we haven't had a show for a while. We're still looking for more people to get involved, so if you are interested in joining the Fergie Time Let's, drop me a message on the Fergie Time page or my own Twitter page, and we can try and get you involved. Uh, some of the stuff we're talking about today is obviously obvious with what's happened the last 48 hours with the Sir Jim interview, and then protests, and obviously the big announcement of our new stadium. So we'll get into all of that in a bit. I did want to say I'm going to host a space tomorrow on our Twitter page for anyone who has their own thoughts on the stadium, Sir Jim's interview, the protests. So that will be tomorrow night. I'll confirm a time tomorrow. So if you want to have your say, get involved and have a conversation with us. Get your thoughts in chat today as well. But yeah, welcome back, guys. It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while. It's good to be back, though.
Yeah, definitely. How are you, Mr. Boom, as well?
Well, it's always good to be back.
Yep. We will start with the Arsenal game, which I thought was one of our best performances of the season. We've definitely, the last couple of games, seen a little bit more of what the manager wants in his system. I think there's still a lot to come, and even going into Sir Jim's interview, he's backing him, and he's going to back him to get players in for that system. He knows that a lot of the players there aren't there; they're not his players, and as he said, a lot of his I think he said 3 of the top 5 earners at the club are currently unavailable for the manager. So for different reasons. But yeah, what's your thoughts on the Arsenal game? I'll start with you, Michaela.
I think it was actually, like you said, I think it was one of our better games. I think the only unfortunate thing is that we didn't finish off our chances the other game. But I mean, I think we carried the game well. We brought it from the back, we created chances. We actually took charge of Arsenal instead of letting them just come at us, which I really
I think we're the better team.
Yeah, I agree. I think Mazraoui had a really, really solid game. I think Garnacho looked promising from the right, and I think that Xerxes is actually looking really good as well. So I'm very happy with the way we played. It's just unfortunate that we didn't finish our chances. I mean,
Really,
close to the end, how that ball did not go across that line, I don't know. Bruno Fernandes was by far our best player. He is just creating like he cannot.
It's a amazing goal on it.
Yeah, no, that was just sensational.
Awesome free kick. He is the only one creating chances, especially with Ahmed out at the moment. We miss Ahmed so much. Garnacho is on and off. I thought he had a better game in the Arsenal game.
He did. He created chances this time around. The only thing that bugs me about Garnacho is sometimes he tries to do too much instead of just trying to keep it simple and keep to the basics of what he knows, which is genuinely does well. And then the rest will come. But I mean, I think this game against Arsenal is one of his better games of recent. Unfortunately, he won.
I know he's not had the best of seasons, but I do feel for Højlund having to run that line. So, like we all said it when we brought him in, they should have brought someone more experienced with him, and I think it's just shot his confidence.
Well, it's not helping that people are also getting on the bandwagon saying he's not good enough for our club either. It's just creating more and more pressure on him.
I'd say he would have got rested for Xerxes a lot more recently, but the fact that we have so many injuries, we need to start both Xerxes and Højlund now.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be against putting Obi in either. He's actually really good when he's made his cameo.
It's a matter of time.
No, I think he's going to be something for us.
It is a matter of time until he scores.
Yeah, 100%.
He's getting in all the right positions.
I think that we're looking promising. I'm liking what Abraham is doing top club. I think he is starting to really show the structure and the way he wants to play. Granted, he doesn't have the players that he wants or needs.
It's annoying he got suspended because what the first few cameos of the new fullback I really enjoyed.
Mm.
I think he's going to be a quality player for us when he's back. So because we obviously needed a left back for so long. We all know my thoughts on our other left back.
Oh, yeah, no. It was unfortunate to get sent off as well. Yes, I think it was a card, but I don't know if it was.
Yeah. Heaven looks good.
I was very pleased with him. His cameo was really good. Looks very promising. I actually wonder if he could start tomorrow.
I think he might,
I think he might. He really impressed me. He was probably one of our better players of the game as well. He really, really looked good.
I think Arsenal are going to regret selling both of them, letting both of those two come to us.
It's just a cherry on top.
Yeah, what was your thoughts, Boom? Anything else to add?
When I thought what? Sorry, I got distracted a second by somebody.
Yeah. What was your general thoughts on the Arsenal game? Have you got anything else
On
to
the
add?
Arsenal game, we made a big deal about 11.2 yards. I'll tell you that much. We even got Sky measuring to a obvious black mark in their studio.
Yeah.
It's very interesting times. It's a brilliant free kick. It was helped that Davaraya decided to be in the stands for a bit.
Yeah.
As well. Kind of helped there. They had a similar one where the ref did 11 point something yards for Odegaard, but Eriksson is actually observant and goes, "Listen, ref, that's 11."
Yeah.
You just gotta count yourself is what you gotta do.
Yeah.
Then I'm annoyed as an Irishman that Declan Rice scored. He just annoys me every time he does that.
Yeah.
Just in general. Then it kind of just like we should have won it. We didn't win it. Davaraya came up with 2 good saves. That's about it.
Yeah, I agree. As I say, probably one of our best performances of the year. We always turn up against the big teams, but we can't do it against fucking small ones.
Oh,
we play half that way against Real Sociedad tomorrow. I say we win.
Yeah, tomorrow's make or break for our season.
well,
It's all we've got to play
one
for.
in the Champions League, we have to win this.
Do you see Gary Neville in that?
Oh, Gary Neville frustrates me.
He said, "Why are they putting all their Why are they concentrating on the Europa League and not the league? Because we're near the bottom of the league. It's the only competition we've got to play for. We're not getting fucking top 4.
We have, and if we win this, we get 1, a trophy, and 2, Champions League.
Yeah, I don't know why he said that.
It's as Ruben said, if we did win it, not that he's predicting that we will, it would make next season actually good.
Yeah, 100%. Our season at the moment is in the league is done. It's true. And we just need to finish as high as we possibly can. And hope for the best. We have to put all our opening up for us.
Yeah, definitely. I love another Europa League. I enjoyed it when we won it under Jose.
Yeah, that was a great one before Jose. I enjoyed that as well. And
we never won it before.
The final, Zlatan was injured, Bailly was injured, Shaw was injured. We still won. Martial was also injured, wasn't he?
Yeah. There was loads of people in the side on crutches, weren't there? But yeah, it'll be interesting tomorrow. I think we'll get the job done. But yeah, what's your thoughts on tomorrow's game, Boom? Do you think we'll do it?
I say we have a chance.
Yeah.
It looks this thing Europa League seems to be a very interesting way it's turning out so far because you have Spurs that have to overcome a deficit. They're 1-0 down for the second leg. You also have one of the favourites, as everyone keeps predicting them, Atletico Bilbao, have to come back against Roma.
Yeah. On our day, I think we can beat anyone who's in there if we
I'm
turn
just
up.
gonna say this: everyone likes a good underdog story, and no one's predicting we will win it. So
Yeah. I'm going. We're
Better
winning
is
the
being not favored. So if we're going into these games not as the favorite, that actually helps them more.
This is going to be clipped tomorrow, but we are winning it. We're winning Europa League. I said it.
I like the odds. I like the odds. I mean, if we win tomorrow and we win comfortably, and we start building confidence and momentum in Europa, and
Yeah.
save some key plays for that, I think we can take it all the way.
Yeah.
I don't see why we shouldn't.
100%. Anyway, enough of that. Quite a lot has happened this week in the last 24 hours. I'll start with the protest the 58 did against before the Arsenal game against our owners, uh, the Glazers and Sergian. Big up the 58. I always turn up with these. Massive turnout as normal. Um, and massive turnout. Probably the biggest one since the Liverpool game when we got the game cancelled.
It's
Uh,
so
a little pu-
great to see
a
us.
little bit of me thought, is it going to happen again? Are we going to get another game cancelled like they did against Liverpool? Because that was massive when they got that done. But yeah, massive turnout, big up the night. I've always been a big pusher for the 1958 and the amazing work they do. I'm really good mates with Steve and a few of the other Chris and a few of the other guys at the 58. So amazing work. Keep up the great work. Amazing turnout. All the fans coming out to sing the songs, show the support and their dismay about the rising ticket prices. Obviously, the ownership and
They're making a difference as well.
yeah,
Everything's
the amount of abuse they get is ridiculous. Like I don't understand. Like they don't get paid for any of this amount of work that they have to do to organise these events, and the turnout they get. And then all they do, it really annoys me. The abuse they get. Like, they're really nice guys. They're just trying to do their bit to help our club, and it's working. So big up the 58. What's your thoughts, guys?
like I said, I think what they're doing is really great. And like, it may not seem it most of the time because obviously it being a fan sometimes can be so frustrating, especially with our owners that we have. It's just like they don't listen. They're cutting prices. They're taking away more and more of our fan rights, and we're not getting results, and it's not working. And people like
£66 for a fucking
I know
ticket.
it's absolutely ridiculous. And I mean, people from the 1958 and all the fans that go and watch, I know they are making a massive difference, and they're the voice for all of us. And what they're doing is amazing, and we just need to keep pushing it. And eventually, it's going to be heard, and hopefully, something changes quicker.
I will shout out Stretford Paddock as well. Steve did a really good piece on the Stretford Paddock. He went on there this week before the protest and to build up awareness before the protest. Really good listen. Make sure you guys check that out. Really like the guys at Stretford Paddock. Make sure you guys check that out. Really good video. And yeah, what's your thoughts, Boom, on the protests?
It's always a great work that the 58 do. That interview, though, that we're gonna get fully into the thing, Sir Jim does not get that this what this protest is about.
Yeah.
I will say that
Yeah,
he
it's
was
not about.
going on a tangent about that it was because of our league position.
Yeah, it's
The
nothing.
fans are protesting.
Yeah. I think he's in a hard position because I still think a long term he either wants to club off the Glazers, but he can't go. He is currently in partnership with them, so I don't really know what he can do. I don't know if in any interview you probably can't diss the
Yeah,
Glazers.
but I feel like he should have brushed over it rather than
Yeah.
trying to give it an answer.
Yeah. But
He
yeah,
should have just said, "I know why they're protesting, but there's nothing I can do about it right now."
yeah,
What his answer should have been.
100%. Yeah, I think the pressure is getting to him. He said like he knew it would be a lot of pressure being obviously in charge of
That he
Manchester
doesn't read
United.
newspapers anymore.
Yeah, but he said he used to like the newspaper with his breakfast, and he can't read it anymore. With the news about United, which you think he would have expected. If he says he's a big as United fan as he claims to be, you'd think he'd know the scrutiny he was going to get. Whatever he did. But yes, we will go on to that interview. Again, massive shout out to 1958. If you guys are watching, massive. Really appreciate all the work you've done. I wish I could have been there. And hopefully we get what we want soon and we get those cancer out of our club. So,
Like I say, one day, all of this work is going to pay off, and we only have the people like the 1958 to thank and the fans that we are. I mean,
100%.
it's going to happen. It has to. It has to.
100%. Anyway, going on to the interview, did you want to get us started, Boom, on Sir Jim's overlap interview with our former right back, Gary Neville?
Totally not conflict of interest. We totally don't hear his voice on the stadium.
Yeah, he's not working with the club on with Sir Jim. Not at all.
It was an interesting interview. He talked about that he does fully support Ruben. I know Ruben keeps saying that his job's not safe, but I got that his job was quite safe from that interview.
Yeah, it seems like I think he was asked if in the summer if they had found the manager they wanted, would have he pulled the trigger on Eric earlier, and it was
He said he made a mistake with Eric.
He made a mistake, but the team of him, Barada, Dan, Ashford, which he also goes on to about as being a mistake. He was basically saying they were not together very long. Barada was only there like 3 days when they had to make the decision, and it was very early on for them to make a big decision like that. He admits that it was a mistake to keep him.
And he said Ruben is doing an excellent job. If you look at the wage bill that he has, it's much like, he says, much like Forest and Bournemouth. So he should be down at the bottom of the table. Someone should tell him where they are. For that comparison, he probably should have picked someone else to compare to.
But yeah, what was your thoughts, Michaela?
No, I agree with what you guys said. I mean, also I think it's very interesting how you spoke about also Sir Alex Ferguson, and like how he said it was his choice that he wanted to leave and he took one for the club because of his passion and his love, which I found very interesting. It definitely sounds very Sir Alex Ferguson-like. I mean, I think the interview definitely showed a lot of colours from Sir Jim Ratcliffe. I do think, though, what was I say? I do think that he is fully behind Ruben, and I think it's good to see. Even like I know Ruben keeps saying no, he's going to get fired if he doesn't get the results. But I think, like Sir Jim said, the players that we have aren't good enough. So it's only a matter of time. They have to back him because as soon as the players that he needs and wants, things will start to really move forward. So yeah, I enjoyed what I have seen from him.
He also talked about our transfers that we're still paying for
Yeah.
Sancho in the summer.
So
Seventeen.
he said, regardless if we make any summer signings in summer, we owe 85 million to clubs this summer.
Yeah, he said we own 17 million to Dortmund still for Sancho.
He's
Money for Hoyland.
slandering us
So,
wherever he can.
Yeah.
there's a lot of players that he was mentioning that still, and he said some of them are probably not good enough.
Yeah.
And are on too much.
Yeah.
He was also asked if he backs the manager on their decisions, on his decision on Sancho and Sancho was done before, but on obviously Rashford and players like that. If they're not performing, whoever they are, they can go basically. If they haven't got the right attitude, and he said that, yeah, he 100% backs the manager on his decision on Rashford. So that's good to see. I think he will be back in the summer.
I think what will happen with Rashford is I think he's showing he's capable of something and he's doing fairly well for Aston Villa. I think he's going to leave definitely this summer. I don't think he'll stay with Aston Villa. I think he will move to another club. I think we need to try. We have to hope that he does well for Aston Villa. Try to get as much money as we can out of him because he's got too big wages, and I think it's good for Rashford to get on because it's not only good for us; it's good and for Rashford.
Yeah,
It needs to happen, unfortunately.
100%. And whatever we get from that is 100% profit. So on it, on a financial fair play. So same as the Scott deal last year. So that is a positive from that. Hopefully he goes on and wins the Champions League for Villa.
That would be quite a wouldn't it?
And yeah, that will put its price up a little bit.
Oh yeah, 100%. I still think he will go to. Not saying that Aston Villa aren't a big club, but I do think he will go to somewhere in Spain. I think Aston Villa are just a stop-off stage for him.
Yeah. He also did go into, obviously, the very disappointing appointment of Dan Ashworth, who we all thought was going to be amazing with his crack record everywhere else. Even Gary Neville said that he knows him personally, and he crack record at the FA and Brighton and a little bit at Newcastle when he was there. And he's got a really good record, but it looks like it was just didn't fit the culture at the club. Basically, is what it sounds like. He didn't fit the board, basically.
Well, all the reports was the fact that his suggestions weren't being fully, backed by the others. It was more. They seemed to be running it like a vote that they all have to agree.
Yeah.
To do a decision where it seemed like to Ashworth that they were just dismissing his ideas because none of them agreed.
Yeah.
To his suggestions. For example, the manager situation, he didn't, but it seems like through everyone reporting, he didn't back Ruben as the choice where the other three did.
Yeah. I think he was also a big pusher on keeping Eric as well.
Yeah.
And he was the one that the links were coming from Southgate and Thomas Frank.
Yeah. Yeah, I still don't know how much of that is true. That's just been?
It's probably they were probably on his list. He probably named them on the list of potential.
Yeah, but yeah, I think the club probably fed that out to get fans on their side.
The club probably fed it out that he was 100% on board with it, but I'd say they were on his list. I'd say he presented like a big list.
But yeah, that was interesting to see where, and it looks like
he also said in these interviews that he did that he's not looking to sell Mainu for profit. Like academy players for
Yeah,
profit, really, to
yeah, we
invest in
can't
the
sell
squad.
Dini. Every time I see this fucking rumour
But
to
the thing
Chelsea, it makes me
is a
more
bit
annoyed.
scary, the fact that maybe himself isn't signing a new deal.
It's just overpayments. That's why we're trying to rejig everyone else's payment structure to stop that.
Yeah,
Because I don't blame him. If I'm Manu, I want at least close to the money that Casemiro's on for the effort that I'm doing in the past year.
yeah,
No, I get that.
yeah,
And he deserves it. I mean, he's done really well for us, and he definitely
yeah.
deserves some compensation for it. Especially when people above him earn more and they're doing absolutely zero for us.
If you're watching this, please don't give him 300k. We've made that mistake too many times. He's too young. Do not give him 300k for at least another 5 years.
Okay, but I mean, at least some, like, if he targets, give him targets,
Yeah,
and if
yeah,
he meets those targets, give him bonuses. I think
yeah,
that's where what we're not doing right is we pay the cash and we do it jack all, and they think, oh, cool, I'm earning all this money, but we're not doing anything.
yeah,
Oh, I don't know. I
yeah,
do think we need to
definitely.
sort it out rather sooner than later, especially before the end of the season, just to
Yeah, I think it'll get
get it
sorted.
like done and solidify him. Because he's the type of player you want to build a squad around him and the Ugarte.
Yeah, definitely.
You need to have those people like on there that know.
Yeah, definitely. One sec. Yeah, have you got anything else to add? Just getting something quickly. Have you got anything else to add on the Sergio interview?
I don't know. That's mainly the main points in that interview. We covered the main ones. Other than that, he was going on about stuff that didn't mean too much.
Yeah, just gonna get something up about the stadium.
I think we can move on to the big one, the big news.
Yeah, I'm just getting up a video. I just want to share. I think the easiest way to do this is if I share my screen and we can break down the announcement. So, first look of the new stadium. So, one sec, just grabbing something. Cool. Cool. So I'm going to share my screen now and we will break down this announcement. So, big announcement yesterday, guys. The new stadium of Manchester United. We all thought it was going to come for a while. The club have been looking at alternatives if it was building a new stadium or the redevelopment of Old Trafford. I think a lot of fans probably were on the side of building Old Trafford, but I did see this. I did see the argument for both sides. It has got to the point. It would have been such a big job to do Old Trafford because it's been let
It
down
would
by
have
the
cost
Glazers.
basically the same for both
Yeah, it would have,
to bring it to the standard.
so to build this new stadium, it's going to cost £2 billion. We will break down this video now, and yeah, so I'll pause the video when we want, and yeah, so It should be coming
This
up.
has to be one of the most exciting projects in the world today. It starts with the most famous football club in the world, 1 billion followers globally. So it starts with the fans. And it starts with the idea of making something which is so intense, it brings you close to the pitch. Acoustically, it cultivates the roar. As you move away from the stadium, it's not a fortress surrounded by a sea of cars. It's open, and it's contained by an umbrella that harvests solar energy, harvests.
So here's one of the first pictures of inside of the new stadium. As the chap here is talking about, it's eco-friendly. That's what all of this umbrella.
That's going to be where the mega store is in that image.
So yeah, so there's been a fan. They're saying this area here is going to be bigger than Churchill Square in London. Not Churchill Square.
Essentially, they built the Trafford Centre outside Old Trafford.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, but yeah, it's going to have loads of shops in here, takeaways, probably a big Adidas store, and stuff like that. But yeah, that picture looks quite cool, to be fair. The view out. It's got a view out of everything. The big question about is this trident, as they're calling it. From this picture, it looks good, but from the front of the stadium, it does look a bit like.
I can see what they're trying to do. The red handle of the trident is the red fans walking towards Old Trafford, is what they were trying to go with. And then the spikes
rainwater,
up that,
but it's
just
protected.
spikes, it looks a bit odd for some people.
No,
I do like all the screens as well. That's cool.
Yeah, they included the women's team there because Sir Jim's
And it
getting a lot of flack
encloses
recently about not
arguably
caring
the
as much as
largest
he should.
public space in the world. It's
Largest public space in the world.
welcoming, it's open, it's at the very heart of a new neighbourhood. And then it's part of the city of Manchester, the fastest growing city in the United Kingdom. Again, like it's a powerhouse, steeped in history. Trafford Park was the industrial heartland of the nation, a heritage which I have a personal connection to. My father was a factory worker at Metropolitan Vickers. And then the three masts, the trident, visible from
so this
40
is
kilometers.
What we're talking about with the trident. So this is what they're saying. So obviously you've got the trident that's on our logo. It's part of the heritage of Man United is the devil. So that is what they're going with here, supposedly. So here, as Boone was saying, towards Old Trafford, whatever it's going to be called, I reckon they're going to sell the naming rights to it, which we'll go into in a minute. But yeah, the fans walking towards the fork, basically, and that is the handle of the fork, is basically what they're trying to go with. A lot of people questioned what this little lookout up here for. We're getting a lot of Star Wars vibes going on the internet at the moment.
As someone that watches anime, I'm getting Dragon Ball Z comics lookout vibes from the.
I really like it. I think, honestly, we've always been known as a theater of dreams, right?
See, that's where the commentators are going to be. They're going to be up there in the lookout. They always are up in the sky.
I like it. I like the fact that it represents our trident. I like the fact that it's also, I know people are making fun of it, but the whole circus factor of it, it's a greatest show on earth. Old Trafford was the theater of dreams. Now you're putting that there as like that. We are going to show the greatest shows on earth. We're going to show the greatest matches. We're going to do great things in the stadium. And I think it has fully good potential. I mean, it's just obviously it all depends on how they do it.
When do these projects ever look like what is originally released? I think this will change slightly.
Probably would, yeah.
It would look directly like that. Even if you go back at like original Wembley designs, it didn't look directly like.
they'll tweak things and
Yeah.
they will realize certain things won't work, so they'll change those.
That's what I'm saying. This is all just concepts. What you're going to get in reality is going to look a bit different to what we see here.
I'll go into
It's
it
always gonna be.
in this video, but it is very interesting how it's being built. It's a 5-year plan. A normal stadium.
They want to move it into it in the 2030-31 season.
Yeah, at the latest, they're saying. So a 5-year plan. So you'd think if it's a 5-year plan, you'd be starting in quite soonish.
Also, I feel like the fact that it's a 5-year plan, hopefully by then we'll have a better understanding of our team dynamics as well.
Yeah.
And we'll have Ruben will have the team that he wants, and like hopefully by that time we will have a good core squad and start getting results just in time for the new stadium as well.
Yeah,
And
I
saw
wouldn't
Omar
look
talk
too much
about it,
into
but
Ruben, like
Omar
going
mentioned that he wants the women's team to also play in the stadium. They want to design it in a way where they can close off part of it and open up part of it, depending on size of people coming to the game.
Yeah, they have said Old Trafford. They have kind of leaked out tonight that today that Old Trafford will be knocked down. And obviously, there's been a lot of talk in the past about sizing it down for women's football. This isn't the case. It will take a year to be demolished after this is built. But the way they're building this really interests me. They're building it. Obviously, we've got a heritage with the boats and the canal. So they're transporting basically the whole stadium in parts, like big parts on the canal, and they're basically saying it's like a big bit of Jenga putting the stadium together, basically, and that's how it will be built so quickly in 5 years compared to most stadiums. As they said in the video, it will take 10 years at this capacity. It's going to be 100k capacity, biggest in the country, bigger than Wembley. I think Wembley's 85. So yeah, bigger than Wembley.
I definitely think, like we were saying earlier, I definitely think that they're gonna bring something from like America, either it be the NFL or like what Tottenham's doing at their stadium. They're gonna bring outside things to bring more money into the stadium from the outside source.
I said it's a boom. Boom. WrestleMania 32. Manchester.
I can definitely see it happening. They do like stadium things, and it's designed like their idea is SoFi Stadium, and that
that's the one. SoFi Stadium. That's the one I was talking about. I was trying to remember earlier.
Concerts. A lot of concerts will happen here as well, considering it sits 100,000. So bigger concerts will come here. I think also you'll bring I definitely think it will switch between NFLs. You'll probably have more chance of NFL coming to the UK now that there's 2 stadiums that can host such big things.
Also, like if we eventually get a World Cup, if we eventually win a bid, they.
I'm saying this will be 10,000 more than Wembley, so
yeah, games will definitely be played here as well. Because obviously with the Euros coming up, we were denied and basically said Old Trafford wasn't good enough because it's falling apart, which is sad because I love Old Trafford. One thing I do need to do is I've gone to one game at Old Trafford last year and it was a 1-0 loss to Fulham.
Well, you have 5 years before it goes on to go to another one.
I need to get some wins at Old Trafford before it's knocked down. But it's so sad that it is going, but I do understand the decision. I have thought,
and like I said before, it's going to have to keep the name, and it probably will keep the name because we had a similar situation in Ireland where Park na Quaeve was being bought over, and they were going to change the name, complete uproar, and they just put Super Value in front of Park na Quaeve and kept the actual name. I think that's going to be this. So say if Snapdragon invest, it'll be Snapdragon Old Trafford rather than any other name. They won't change the Old Trafford part.
I really hope that they take the call of Old Trafford, like the clock, the minute clock tunnel.
Yeah.
They have to incorporate it in a way.
I mean, they did
I
talk
reckon-
before that saying if they were going to move, because Gary Neville did mention before in an interview that the whole idea would be to move the Munich tunnel towards the new stadium anyway,
Yeah,
if they were doing it.
yeah, they've got to do something with the Munich tunnel, even if it's part of the museum, the new museum. That's what I reckon they'll do. They'll somehow incorporate it into the new museum because this is being built where I don't know if you know the area, but where the car park is currently. The plan is will be built where the car park is currently. So Old Trafford will still be basically next to it. How we'll be playing games there, and then they'll demolish Old Trafford afterwards. But yeah, we will show you a bit more of the
200 meters high. So this becomes a global destination.
300 meters high. Jesus Christ.
Normally, a stadium would take 10 years to build.
This is what
We half that time, 5 years. How do we do that? By prefabrication, by using the network of Manchester Ship Canal, bringing it back to a new life, shipping in components, 160 of them, Meccano-like, and then we rebuild the Old Trafford station. And that becomes the pivot, the processional way to the stadium, welcoming and at the heart of a new sports-led neighborhood. It's walkable, it's well served by public transport, it's endowed by nature, it learns from the past, it creates streets, it's a mixed-use mini-city. So what makes a global destination? What makes something so special? It's teamwork. It's the best brains, the civic leaders, the owners, the consultants, the engineers, the architects, the fans. The list is so long. It's a team effort. That is at the heart of the success of this project.
I must admit that Trident is quite cool at night.
I really like it. I think honestly,
It is growing on me.
I think it. No, I honestly think a lot of people look at it. I really do. I think it'll be very positive. I honestly do. I just hope
Um,
that Ben Matthews decides to do that.
Yeah. It will be. I'm just kind of hoping it's not like Upton Park where you're too far away. Where you're far. Well, actually, with their newer stadium, a lot of the fans don't like the London Stadium compared to Upton Park. You're so far away from the fans. I'm hoping that's not the case here on the new stadium, where it's so big that you're so far away from
Yeah,
the fans.
true.
Um,
Hopefully they. I don't think they would. By the looks of it, it looks like it's going to be quite close. Not close, but like
yeah,
close enough to see the action.
yeah. Yeah, what is your thoughts, Boom, on the announcement and positives and negatives about the situation we're in?
Well, the announcement needed to happen. I always said to you that a new stadium was almost guaranteed to happen. That was never going to be viable.
Yeah.
I get people's concerns, but I kind of like the design.
I also do.
Yeah, it's growing on me through the day. Yesterday it was, what the fuck is that? But it's growing on me through the day.
I get their idea behind the trident. It's just you have to be looking from an angle to the upwards angle to actually see the vision.
Yeah.
That's what people don't see. They don't see the handle leading up. That's what everyone's ignoring. They're just seeing the tent part of it.
Obviously, he's a big part of all this project. I wonder what's happening with the hotel football.
Oh yes.
If that's being built into it.
Maybe. You probably find you could, if it's going to be like they say, it's going to be like a mini city. You probably find there has to be some sort of hotel within that area. Surely.
Probably more than one. Like obviously, you've got picture here. I think I do. So if you look here, you've got, I think these are like properties and stuff. I
Yeah,
think
I think a publicly
they,
close to the stadium would be really cool.
they are. Ah, there it is. Look, Halto Football. It's there.
Where?
That is Halto Football. That's the building. I've been
Oh,
in it, so I know. Yeah, that's Halto Football there. So yeah, it is staying. But yeah, so you've got the hotel there, properties here, obviously shops and all that. But they're saying for the economy, it's very good for the economy.
oh yeah.
The money it's bringing for the economy is mad. That goes into the main topic on this is how is it being funded? Because we've openly been told this week that if Stadium takes over, we would have gone bust in December. A day later, we're announcing a £2 billion stadium.
I know the government have said they're not going to fund it. I think we'll definitely have to be funded through partnerships, either Adidas or Snapdragon, or that's why I think that it will be Old Trafford, but there will be something ahead of Old Trafford, either Snapdragon or Old Trafford.
Like it is with New Camp now. It's Spotify New Camp now, isn't it?
Exactly. I think that's how we're gonna fund most of that.
That's what I'm saying. It's kind of the norm where the sponsor just goes before the actual original name of the.
Maybe going back a few years ago when all this state takeover stuff happened, and Apple, and I remember the eye Trafford when that started. Maybe
Or
that.
it can be Tesla Trafford.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, I would prefer just to keep it at Old Trafford only, but the likelihood of that happening is very slim.
They've got to find it somehow,
They
and
have to fund it
it's the only way I can see it.
Yeah, and I mean, also you got to think like all these businesses that are going to buy into it is also going to fund it as well.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
There's going to be a bit of war to name this. Let's be honest.
oh yeah,
You have the chance to name the biggest stadium and biggest club in the world. You're
I mean,
throwing
if
money at it.
I wouldn't mind owning one of those properties right next to the stadium either.
Can you imagine how much they are?
Oh, yeah, the price is probably good through the roof. But could you imagine owning one of
Yeah.
those? Wow, that would be just so cool. Yeah,
I don't think my mortgage, what I'm currently saving up for, will be able to cover that.
but I must say, I really like the idea of the Trident. I think it's listen, it's unique. It's 100% unique. I think the whole netting thing, obviously, because it's solar panel, it's all like whole thing. I think it's very effective, very regenerative. But
Take away the tent for a second. If that wasn't there,
I think it would look pretty if that netting wasn't there.
if the tent was not there,
Yeah,
remove the tent. That actually looks really good.
it does. It looks really good. The thing is, the tent is very modern. It's very modern. It's very time.
Yeah.
I mean, I think as the years go on, I think that will become better and people will talk about it more positively. I also like the whole eye thing in the middle. What is that going to be? Have they spoken about what that is yet?
What?
The eye, the middle trident. It's like an eye.
Some sort of lookout. I wonder if it will be like a lookout. You can go up there and kind of see the view of Manchester.
I wonder if it's a restaurant.
Yeah, mate, either a restaurant or like you can go up there and see the view of Manchester, maybe something like that. But
I really must say, I was like you, when I first saw the stadium last night, I was like, oh wow, what on earth? But the more I did, I started watching more videos because obviously people started releasing videos about the new stadium. The more I started watching more and more, the stadium slowly started growing on me. I honestly think it will grow on a lot of people. And I'm shocked people are saying that.
I wonder. Well, so we were talking about NFL and stuff like that. I wonder if it will have like the move. Have you seen like the pitch at Spurs where it moves?
Probably, to be fair, I wonder if they were clever. I know NBA is trying to come back to the UK. I wonder if they could try build that into the stadium.
Yeah, because I know they hire, and you can see it by kind of. I don't know if you know Upton Park, the London Stadium,
Mm,
where it's got all of like the gardens and all that.
mm,
It's the same. I don't know if they went for it in the end, but I know they hired the same designer who designed the Olympic Stadium.
yeah.
And if you kind of look at like this bit here, it does look similar. So I wonder if they did go like all the gardens and all that. Like if you look a picture of that area, I wonder if they did go with that in the end because that does look very similar.
I also get a lot of Wimbledon vibes from the stadium, especially with the watch outside, the watch along outside with the TV, the sitting around, and like I feel like it's a big community. I think it looks great. I really do.
Yeah. I am intrigued what this picture is here.
I mean, could you imagine? City got nothing on us with this stadium. We're the focal point of Manchester right here with us.
Someone said that you could see it from Liverpool.
I think it's great. I think it's modern. I think it's different. No stadium in the world looks like this.
No.
And Old Trafford always attracted people because of the way it's the style it looked, the way it was, the modernism of it, and the history it held within the stadium. On top of that, this is taking everything away from that, but adding the modernism and being bold, being different, being united.
Yeah.
And I like it. I think Theatre of Dreams is going to become something different.
How much do you think it's going to cost in the end? They're saying 2 billion. This always goes over.
Oh yeah, I'll put my money on to be 2.5, 3 billion.
Yeah, because the project's like Wembley was like shit ton. So was the first stadium.
They always say it's going to be a certain price, but it always goes over by at least $1 billion.
Yeah.
Always.
On that though, I am obviously we have got the redevelopment of Carrington as well, which is opening in July.
31st of July.
Yeah, I am a bit concerned about that if they're doing enough, because the redevelopment of I was watching something earlier. The redevelopment of City, they spent 200 million on their training ground. Who was it? It was Real Madrid, someone like that, spent like 300 mil. Leicester, have you seen Leicester's training ground? It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
In fairness, they're stopping lunches, so they didn't have to build the canteen.
At least the stadium gets rid of the rats. And then
We're making them redundant with this new build. That's another one to add.
Maybe we should leave Pizza Express and go and be a chef at the New Old Trafford.
Does this
get one of the properties outside?
does this stadium not look like the Champions League stadium, like the focal point of Champions League?
I didn't. Now you said that. One sec. I didn't think about that, but yes.
It does, right? See, 5-year. I like the 5-year plan. I think a lot of because there's been a lot of word that the 5-year plan to make the club right. Ruben even said, "Give me 5 years to build my team, and it will take 5 years to build his perfect team." 5 years. I am guarantee if they get that right, we come into the stadium, we win our first Premier League in the stadium. How unbelievable would that be?
Yeah. I still want to win one more Premier League in
Oh
Old
yeah,
Trafford.
listen, I wouldn't be against us winning another Premier League at Old Trafford, but the way we're going right now, I don't see that happening at least for another year or two, maybe 3.
Uh,
I hope I'm wrong.
I do like Ruben was asked about it, and he said he's more concentrated on now because even if, let's be honest, even if he's successful, that's 5 years,
Yeah,
and when realistically do managers stay that long anymore?
listen,
Realistic, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, actually, I do think listen, I think Ruben definitely is showing something different to what any other manager that we've had before. Um, I think he is going to be the difference. It's just if the
I
players
see
back.
what you mean. Look,
It does. Yeah.
Well, Simba was always going to make it someday.
Oh no, that's so funny.
I always thought they would make that stadium for like the
I'm
finals.
surprised they
Be
have.
funny.
Yeah, I mean, I think our designer had a look at the Champions League one night and he thought, inspiration. And
He's apparently one of the best architect designers in Manchester.
or is it? Yeah.
no, I'm
Right.
excited to see
Yeah.
how this unfolds. I definitely think this is a new stadium. Building it, there's always issues with it, and it's going to be interesting to see how they come out of that. But I'm excited to see how this will
I just
unfold.
really hope they don't put up prices even more to
Probably
pay for
will,
this,
knowing them, probably will.
because £63 is ridiculous. 68 or whatever it is ridiculous.
No,
But that's not only us protesting. That's the whole league protesting against that at the moment.
yeah.
But anyway, guys, have you got any more? Have we got any more we want to add on the, let's call it New Trafford? We haven't got a name for it at the moment, so let's call it New Trafford. Uh,
Um,
or Snapdragon Old Trafford.
I wonder if they could actually make something about the trident because they made it such a focal thing.
Maybe. Trident Trafford. Anyway, guys, yes, very interesting news this week. We're keeping it close to our chest at the moment. I still think some of these plans will change slightly.
Always, yeah.
I don't think this is going to. Well, they're saying 5 years. I don't think that target's realistic.
Yeah, some people were saying 10. He's saying 5 because Sir Jim
I
wants.
think it's 5 years from when they start, but I don't think they start for at least another year. So that'll
Yeah,
be.
see, Sir Jim wants it before he becomes too old to actually enjoy it.
Yeah, that'll be
Well, I
31, 32, I think.
They must be starting it this year if it's 5 years. They need to literally start.
They might be starting the groundwork for it.
Yeah, they have
The
to be
initial.
this year for it to like hit 5 years. I think realistically, I think 7 years.
Yeah, I think so.
Because I mean,
Even if it is 5 years, it's 5 years from when it starts, and I don't think it starts for a year at least.
I think also
My prediction is 8.
yeah, I think if he really pushes it, like, but I'm thinking 7.
You never know. Borders might come out tomorrow. Turn up in
Suddenly we
Manchester.
get the funding from everybody.
I think stadium, like I said, each stadium has its issues, from things people dying from building stadiums to complications to things not being built right or sizing wrong. So you also gotta bank those in as well. So realistically, I don't know. If they say it's 5 years, they're literally gonna have to start breaking the ground by like June, July.
I don't know if the names are right, but I saw someone had like a stand, which is apparently the Stretford end. So I think they're keeping the names of the different stands.
Oh, that's cool. I hope they do.
They've got to keep the Stretford end.
No, they are keeping the names of those stands.
That's
It'll
what
just be
it's
bigger.
yeah, it makes sense if they did keep those.
Because they're
Yeah.
keeping most of the name. That's why I think it will still be called Old Trafford. There'll just be a sponsor either left or right of the name Old Trafford.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they want to keep the image of the history that's there by keeping most of the namings
Do you
Yeah.
think
the same.
any new statues outside the stadium? Oh, I think all the old ones will move across with the new stadium. But do you think we'll get any new statues coming up?
Probably just to
I
fill
wonder if
some
they'll
of
stay
the open
outside the Old
areas and
Trafford or if they'll
ones.
move them into the new museum.
Mhm.
Be interesting.
Well,
I think they need to keep the Busby Bay
No, the
one.
centerpiece is still going to be the Trinity. They're still going to be
Yeah.
like right there in front.
I
Yeah.
think one amazing statue that they could make, I know it's probably a bit too soon, but they have to do the one of Garnacho, Hoyland, and Ahmad.
Yeah. It's been just a Salgan actually to Atletico.
But you get the one of Harry Maguire doing that just for the laugh.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
to annoy people.
And then you got to get Rooney's bicycle kick statue as well.
Or Ganacho's bicycle. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Both of them side by side.
It wouldn't be anything like that. It would be something. I think they wouldn't win and do something like that unless it's something we won. Maybe.
Just
Yeah.
for the fun of it, we should get one of Ashley and diving.
Or we
Back in the
could
day.
get the Rooney Ronaldo one when Ronaldo's when Rooney's jumping on Ronaldo doing his celebration as well.
Yeah.
I mean, they're
shall
both
see.
amazing things there, so.
We shall see what they do.
We should get a picture of Roy pulling his face when he says, he should have saved that. That's his job.
Can we have a
Right
Louis
next
Van,
to
Louis Van
him.
Hole slipping? just in the stand. It's just
No, that should be
in the
right next to the
stadium. It's
manager's
just,
box.
it's
Right
Louis
there.
Van Hole on the floor. Yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. It's been good to be back. We're going to try and get more of these done. As I said, I'm going to try and sort of space out tomorrow so we can talk about the conversation. Hopefully, all three of us can be there and jump in. We'll pull people in and talk about the subject. Anyway, good night and come on, United.